What's up, you guys? Today we're doing, I don't know how many projects in the kitchen, but I'm starting with some beef jerky here. I have 2 pounds of meat in here, and I'm using the Gamekeeper's like jerky kits. You can get these at Walmart. They're super affordable. I like to stock up on them after hunting season because they go on sale. You can get them for pennies on the dollar. I also have some sausage packages downstairs that I want to use eventually, but I'm just following the directions off of here. We are making the hickory jerky today. I have my dehydrator. Typically I would use venison for this, but I don't have any ground venison right now in my freezer ready to go. It's all still in chunks, and I don't feel like bringing out the meat grinder to do that today. So this is some of the bulk beef that we have. 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna put this on. Turns out it's the whole package. All right, so like I said, I'm just following the directions in here. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get this in the jerky gun myself, because last time I could not put the jerky gun together properly, so I had to wait for Joe to get home and he helped me do it. But I'm hoping I can figure it out today. We'll see what happens. But I want to get the jerky going. I also want to make some banana, either banana bread or banana muffins, because I have some bananas that need to be used up. And I might do some prepping for dinner. I'm not sure exactly what direction I want to go with for dinner yet tonight. Okay, so I'm going to just set this aside. This is our mixed beef with our cure in it, which is just salt and stuff, and then our seasoned hickory packets. If you wanted to, you could set this in the fridge overnight and let it soak in the flavors, do whatever you want, prep it. But I'm just gonna put mine aside and try to figure out how to load the jerky gun. I don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen today, and I don't want to be in the kitchen for super long today, just because I am so behind on certain things. Our septic very randomly just ended up backing up, and it was horrendous. It was really bad. But luckily we don't have like any inside house damage, but we just got so behind on laundry and different things because we were waiting to get the approval that our septic was like back up and ready to go. So that was an eventful couple of days. So now today I'm trying to like catch up on laundry, but while I'm in between loads, I just want to get a couple of these things going because bananas need to be used up, and I already had the meat in my fridge. I already had planned on doing this project, so I just want to continue on with that plan and get that done. So let's see if we can figure out this jerky gun. Okay, this is also a jerky gun I got from Walmart. It came in a kit. It works really well. I'm just deficient. I don't know. I'm like not mechanically inclined at all. So even simple things like putting some sort of equipment together is definitely not my strong suit, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm going to load this with our jerky mixture. Okay, you guys, so this day, spoiler alert, was horrendous in the kitchen. Almost nothing turned out. I struggled with everything I made, but I still wanted to put this video up, A, because I took the time to film it, but B, because it shows that you're never going to improve if you don't challenge yourself, and that's in anything in life, not just in the kitchen, but you have to challenge yourself. You have to step outside of your comfort zone to even learn new skills at all, and that was the case with this jerky gun. I had no idea how to use it. It took me forever to figure it out. And I had to load the jerky gun twice this day because I was doing a double batch, and both times I completely struggled with it. But at the end, I actually know how to operate this jerky gun now. And if I would have let Joe do it, I never would have learned. So that was something that I'm really happy that I actually learned how to do today, even if it was really hard. Like I said, I usually really like to do this with venison. It's a really great way to use up different parts of the deer that maybe aren't as like fancy or as glamorous to eat. It helps us use up some of those scrap pieces, because usually that makes really good jerky. We'll just take whatever we don't want to eat that isn't good for like roasts or like obviously not the back straps or the tenderloins or anything like that, and we will grind up all that leftover meat, like maybe any scraps that we take off of like the legs or ribs or anything like that. We'll take whatever meat off that we can and put it through the grinder. Sometimes we'll cut it with a little bit of pork fat or tallow that we keep from the pigs that we order or whatever, and we'll use that to make jerky and sausage, and it works really well. Took a little bit of a break. We got the dehydrator going. That's going. I'm putting my beef jerky on, I think 150 degrees for 6 hours. At the 4-hour mark, I'm gonna check it. If I need to, I'll rotate some of the trays. We'll figure it out. And then after that 4-hour mark, I'm gonna check the beef jerky every 30 minutes just to check it, make sure it's not getting too dry, and pull it off as it's ready. I decided what we're gonna do for dinner. We're gonna do pulled pork, like barbecue pulled chicken. There we go. And I'm just gonna cook the chicken in my Instant Pot. It's warm today. We're definitely getting some summer weather. It's like 75 degrees and I want to enjoy that, so I just want to go ahead and get some buns going, get that done and out of the way, and then make some banana bread really quick. I do think I'm just gonna make a loaf of banana bread because I don't feel like fuddling with muffins today. Like I said, I want to get in and get out of the kitchen today. But we took a break, we did lunch, baby's down for a nap, so I'm gonna hurry up and try to get these rolls going quick and the banana bread done and like in the oven. That way I can be done with this and just move on to other tasks throughout the day. We can hang out outside, get laundry going, and just kind of like keep it on. So let's get going. We are going to be using the same burger bun recipe that we did a handful of weeks ago in the like homemade burger bun video. I will link this recipe down below for you guys as well, but we're gonna use that same recipe because it worked really well. I really enjoyed it, and this time when we make it, I think I'm going to freeze half of these buns and see how they hold in the freezer. This recipe is still pretty new to me because like I said, I've only made it once, but I did make it with you guys, so we'll see how this goes. A 4th cup sugar, and we're gonna need some water. I'm still really liking this recipe because it is super simple. It's only a handful of ingredients, and if you make bread, you have all these ingredients on hand anyways, or if you make pizza crust or anything like that, it's nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. And I get to throw some of my chicken eggs in it, which makes me love it even more. I'm also loving this recipe still because it is so simple and quick to go throw together. I love that it's only like a 1-hour roll. So we'll be able to get these done and baked and cool the house off before the heat of the day really kicks in here. All my ingredients are in here now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let this knead if I need to. I have a little bit of water left here, but I'm just gonna let this go, and while this is going, I'm gonna take time to clean up my lunch messes, get those dishes in the dishwasher, and then start pulling things out for banana bread. And we'll get this pot or this bowl rinsed out and start getting ready to make banana bread really quick as well. So we're just gonna keep moving through and making the most time out of our limited time in the kitchen today. I'm gonna see how they hold in the freezer, and hopefully if they hold well, I can make a batch of these, like a bigger batch of these, and get a handful of them in the freezer to pull out later when I need them. So we're gonna start with our yeast, our water, and our sugar as always. But that would be really, really nice if I would be able to get some of these in the freezer. That way I don't have to make them every single time. So we're gonna test it today, see how they hold. And we'll just kind of go from there. 2 tablespoons after yeast. All right, our dough is kneading. I'm just gonna take a little bit of my olive oil here and smear it on my pan so my buns don't stick. Oh, I love the way this dough is. The egg yolk makes it such a pretty golden color. Beautiful. But, okay, we're gonna take our dough here. If you want to, I think what I'm going to do is set this here, and I'm going to use my pastry cutter because last time I made these, my buns were not all the same size, weren't even close. So I'm gonna try to fix that this time. Still probably not the best job, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna roll these under just like we did in that video, kind of give it a little twist. And get our buns set down here, and all you have to do is let these rise for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to put these on top of my stove here. My oven is turned on. It's on 425. These are supposed to bake for right around 10 minutes. It says 8 to 12, so we'll call it 10. But these just need to rise for just a couple minutes, which is perfect because then I'll just throw these buns in the oven at the same time as our banana bread, and everything should be done. And the kitchen will be clean, and I will have accomplished all of my kitchen tasks for the day. So I'm gonna have an extra little bun, unless maybe I can just add this dough onto some of our other buns that maybe are a little bit more petite. Let's do this one. And like I said, whatever I don't use today, I'll put maybe, even if it's just one or two of these in the freezer, just to test how they hold. So here are our burger bun dough balls. I'm gonna set this up here behind me. We're gonna let that rise for a couple minutes, and I'm just going to rinse out my KitchenAid here, and then we're gonna get started on our really quick banana bread. Okay, you guys are gonna have to excuse paper towels, like I said, because our septic backed up. I'm so behind on laundry. I have no washcloths for my kitchen. I have no hand towels left. So it's paper towels today. But we're gonna go ahead and start with our banana bread. I'm gonna pull up a banana bread recipe. I wish I had some zucchini left over from the garden, and I would make, if I still had zucchini left over from the garden, I would make zucchini banana bread. That sounds so good. I'm very ready for some zucchini like desserts and bars and stuff. If I remember, I will link down below my favorite zucchini, I'm pretty sure it's a zucchini applesauce cake. It is so good. I run it to every barbecue, like graduation party, everything I went to last summer. It was a hit. You top it with cream cheese frosting. It is so good. If I remember, I'll link that down below. But it is on my Pinterest. Alrighty, I have our banana bread recipe here. I will link this one down below. It's also just a random one I just ever so quickly found on Pinterest. I always try different banana bread recipes. I almost never stick with the same one exclusively, so this is just the one I'm going to use today. I have 2 bananas here that are left from our grocery shopping haul earlier this month. I think I ended up getting 12 or 14 bananas, and these are just the 2 that are left. And they're still good bananas, but they're just soft, and they've been picked over and kids are moving on to other things, so we're gonna get these used up. All right, we're gonna need an egg, some vanilla extract. I think I'm gonna have to do another egg preservation project coming up because my chickens are laying so many eggs right now. I just can't keep up with all the eggs that are coming into the house right now. And we eat a lot of eggs, like a lot of eggs, but we definitely don't eat 2 dozen a day. So we're gonna have to see what we're gonna do there. I need 1/3 of a cup of butter melted. So I actually talked about this in my whatever video I made those applesauce muffins in. When I'm making breads or muffins and it wants melted butter, I really like to throw in just room temperature butter, because then the butter almost stays in like lumps or clumps, kind of like they do in like a pie crust, and then when you bite into your muffin or into the breads, you get this little chunk of like melted butter goodness, and it tastes phenomenal. It is my favorite way to do it. So I'm gonna put in 1 stick of room temperature butter, and then I'm gonna have to, I do have butter, more butter that is room temperature. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this in, and we're gonna call that 1/3 cup. Can you guys see how the butter stays in that chunks? I know it looks kind of gross, but as it's baking, it's so delicious. When you put your butter in chunks like that, it actually is going to work almost like it would like a puff pastry. The butter, like the moisture in the butter will actually puff up, and it'll make your puff pastry light and flaky and yummy and delicious. Same thing in a pie crust, but when you do it in like a muffin or in a loaf, it puffs up, it brings a little air to it, makes it a little bit more light, a little fluffy, and it makes such good muffins. Got our cinnamon here, and then the only thing I'm gonna need is sugar and flour, and we're gonna be able to get this in the oven right away, which is awesome, making great progress. I kind of love days like today where it's like you're not in the kitchen very long, but you're really productive, you get a couple things taken care of, and this banana bread will definitely be breakfast for the end of the week. It's Wednesday, so this will be enough for my kids to have we'll have a slice before school, and maybe pair this with like an apple or an orange or something. And it will definitely be used up, so it's kind of like a meal prep also. I don't really have to worry about breakfast for the rest of the week. Or maybe even, we always let our kids do an after dinner snack, assuming that they actually ate their dinner. Kids can be a little finicky sometimes, mine included, but it is nice to be able to just have something prepped and ready to go for things like that. Oh, the beef jerky is making the house smell so good. Okay, I think the only thing I need left is my flour, 1.5 cups of flour. This recipe does call for nutmeg. I do not keep nutmeg in my house. I need to. It's one of those spices that's like in everything, and I never remember to like put it on my grocery order. Cut in half. I need to remember to do that, but I always skip over it and just add in a little bit of extra cinnamon. Okay, while this is mixing away, I'm gonna double check my recipe, make sure I didn't miss anything, because I do that all the time. Baking soda, there we go. I missed it. I'm gonna go grab my baking soda. Alright, here we go, a little baking soda. I buy my baking soda in bulk, and I'm gonna start doing that with some more of my things. So I just store a little bit in this mason jar here, because I also use it for cleaning and a ton of different purposes. So it's better to just buy it in bulk. Perfect, that looks great. And the best part is our oven's already preheating. Our dinner rolls are still rising. I do remember last time we made those dinner rolls that it definitely took more than like 10 or 15 minutes to rise. I'm pretty sure I left them out for, man, I want to say it was like an hour. I'd have to go back in that video and check, but it was a while. I let them rise, and I have no problem doing the same thing today. As long as they're ready to go, I can throw them in the oven kind of whenever, but I just want to get them made while the baby is napping, to make sure that they actually are ready for dinner time. Alrighty, I have our loaf pan here. I just took our butter here and smeared it on the inside, and I'm going to take this, oh, I see the seed of the banana. I'm going to take that out. And we're gonna bake this in the oven. I'd have to look at the recipe to see for how long, but I'm going to assume probably 55 minutes to an hour, which is no problem. It's been a long time since I've made banana bread. There we are, and this actually didn't make that big of a mess either. So what did we accomplish thus far today? We got in our 2 pounds of jerky that are going, which is awesome. I'm just gonna check that periodically throughout the afternoon. Our burger buns are rising, of course. Banana bread's in the oven. And all I'm gonna have to do to make my pulled barbecue chicken sandwiches later on tonight is, I like to, if I'm shredding chicken, I love just cooking in my Instant Pot. It's quick, fast, simple. It's one dish, super easy to clean, and it doesn't produce a lot of heat either, especially in the summertime. So I'll just pop a couple chicken breasts in my Instant Pot, cook that for a while with just a little bit of salt and pepper, take it out, shred it, dump barbecue sauce over it, and then I like to pair our cold barbecue sandwiches with some of our homemade pickles, and then I'll just heat up some sort of vegetable for a side, probably corn because we don't have any green beans left from the garden, and that will be dinner tonight, and it'll be a quick, easy cleanup as well, which is fantastic. I am needing some easy meals right now. That's just where I want to be. So I'm going to clean up my kitchen, and I will catch you guys in a minute when we're putting our rolls in the oven, pulling out some banana bread, when all these projects that we accomplished earlier this afternoon are getting ready to be done. I guess today is just going to be a really rough day in the kitchen. I don't know what happened, but apparently my oven is running unreasonably. I don't know what happened, but my stuff had only been in the oven for like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I'm like, something's burning. Everything in my oven is so burnt. I don't know what happened or why it's running so hot, but it is. Here's our banana bread. It is still raw in the middle and burned everywhere else. And here are hamburger buns. I was able to save these. They're not that bad, I don't think. But who... I don't know. Oh no! Oh man. I don't know what's going on with my oven. I'm gonna have to have Joe look at it, I guess. But it is what it is, I guess. Let's hope the jerky turns out better. It's not that big of a deal. The banana bread I'll just give to the chickens. Obviously once it cools down, it's definitely a bummer, but it kind of is what it is. It happens every once in a while, so today was just a rough day in the kitchen, I guess, but nonetheless things got done. Hopefully the jerky will turn out. The buns I think will be okay. I'm just gonna wait for them to cool off, and I'll take a butter knife and scrape the burnt bits off the bottom of the buns, and it'll be completely fine. I'll put a little butter on top, and well, sorry, it is so loud. I'm so sorry it's so loud. They're tending the fields around my house. There are so many large vehicles like up in the fields tending things, but if the burger buns end up being dry, I'll just make sure to put extra like mayo on the sandwiches or butter or something, or a little extra barbecue sauce in her chicken. It'll be okay. They're not gonna be the best, but we will definitely still eat them. I will still put some of these in the freezer, see how they hold up. It wasn't exactly how I expected things going this morning, but it doesn't always work out in the kitchen. But here is our jerky. It's been going for a little bit. There's definitely still some moisture in the jerky for sure. It's not done, but it's smelling really good. It's looking really great. The bottom trays will always finish before your top trays because they're closer to the heat element on the bottom here. I got this dehydrator from Walmart. Like I said, I also got this after hunting season when they go on sale. It was really cost efficient. I'm pretty sure I got this for like $15 or $20 right around Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas time. It might have even been later in the year than that, maybe New Year's, but right around that time frame. It was really cost efficient. It's super great. I use this to dehydrate a ton of stuff out of the garden last year. It's not a super fancy one. It doesn't hold a crazy amount of product or anything, but it gets the job done. It works really well. And before I invested in a really high quality dehydrator, I wanted to make sure that I would actually get my use out of a dehydrator. And this works fantastic. It's really great. This is also the Gamekeepers brand. I would recommend it. It works really well for what I need it to. And I've dehydrated all sorts of different things in here, and it's never let me down. Thank you guys so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with me in the kitchen. And I guess, if nothing else, let this video be proof to you that you can't always get it right in the kitchen. Things are going to go wrong. It doesn't matter how much time you spent in the kitchen, whether the recipe is new or old. sometimes things out of your control just kind of make things go haywire, and today was one of those days. Nonetheless, it was still a great day in the kitchen, a productive day in the kitchen, and a really great day overall. I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a fantastic day. I hope today you do something for yourself. Get out there, go for a walk, do whatever you need to do. Maybe a nice bubble bath, I don't know, read a book, whatever your thing is. Go ahead and take time for yourself today. Thank you guys so much for being here, taking time out of your day to hang out with me in my kitchen, and of course I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.